What do you get when you cross a cow with a wizard? Dairy Potter. Welcome to the stream. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope you're doing well today. I hope your week's going wonderfully for you, my friends. Thank you very much for being here with me tonight. Yake is first in chat. Howdy, Yake. Thank you for being here. Always appreciate your company, my friend. Lucent Jelly with the snowman and trophies. It is quite snowy outside. I do like it. I wish I could enjoy it a little bit more. I'm in a little rough shape, my friends. It's just every night is one thing into another. I don't want the stream to be a chronicle of Frownie's misfortunes. So I'm trying to keep spirits high, but boy, my foot is giving me some trouble. And Congo, welcome in, Congo Line Monkey. I know that look. I just missed the joke. For better or worse, you have Conga. Thank you for being here, though. We've got two things we're going to do tonight, my friends. We're going to play them's Fightin' herds for a while. I'd like to hopefully find and defeat whatever the next boss may be. And then we'll move over to Dark Souls for the second part of the stream. And Dark Souls, I think we just finished. We just cleared out an area. I mean, I'll wander around a little bit more, but I kind of think we're done with the area where we just defeated a boss last time we played. So tonight's mission is going to be to try to locate a new boss. I won't expect to be so lucky as to defeat it. But let me get my head out of the way here, and we can dive back into this game. It's been a little while since I picked this up, so I'm going to be a little bit rusty. If you haven't seen this game before, we've played it one night so far. It's a combination adventure and fighting game. It's very odd. I didn't like it very much at first, but by the end of the night, it had kind of grown on me a bit. It's got some of the writing is a lot of fun. Thank you for sharing the joke, Jelly. I think "oh no" is the right emote to use there. Alright, so story. Continue our story. There are treasures to collect in this game. Like hidden collectibles. And normally I would like to pick all of those up, but I don't know if it's an option. Because I think when we were in Chapter 1, I found a collectible and it said something about like... I found like 1 out of 6 or something like that. And I didn't find all the collectibles, but I moved out of the Chapter 1 area and moved into Chapter 2. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to go back to try and find those collectibles that I missed out on before. So we play as a young cow named Arizona, and we're on a mission to stop some wolves from invading the Earth. There's a lot of story, and I'm not very clear on it. We've come to this city where apparently reindeer live, and I don't think that it occurred to me that the city is called Rain because it's populated by reindeer until just now. Welcome to Rain. Please wipe your hooves before proceeding into the city, and do not eat the shrubbery. It is ornamental, not a free snack. Any brawls or disorderly conduct will result in expulsion from the city and heavy salt fines. Have a nice visit. Please leave soon. I love it. Hey kid, want to buy some oats? I'm not a kid, I'm a calf. I like this, I really like this wintry town. My, they're letting just anybody into the city these days. These are strange times indeed. Alright, we should talk to everybody twice. Howdy, can I get some directions? I already gave you directions, but if you insist, I can repeat them. Welcome to Rain. Wait, hold on. Stop, I meant... Alright then. Fair enough. Alright, it's all the same, always the same. Hi there, can I ask you a question? Why, certainly, darling. Do you know how far to get to Rain Museum? Of course I do. Can you tell me how to get to the museum then? I absolutely can. Get back here! That's it, we can't talk to him anymore. Excuse me, ma'am, could I ask? Nice hair. Lose the scarf, though. I just need directions. That was a freebie, sweetie. You need to pay for future image consultation. Don't leave the trops outside overnight, I tell them, but do they listen? At least I didn't get my tongue stuck this time. Excuse me? Could I... What do you want? Never mind. I guess that symbol was meant to show that they were shaking their fist at me. Howdy, I was wondering if I could ask you a question. Do you want to blow both our covers? Don't talk to me in public, you fool. I have to say, I do not think we know who this character is. Can we read the sign? We can. There's a picture of a boat to the north, houses to the east. And yep, there's a gate to the south. Well, the museum must be in the west then. I don't suppose we... Oh! I was saying, I don't suppose we can actually go into any of these buildings. If you're looking for the upstairs couple, the entrance is in the back. And could you please tell them to tone it down a little? They're keeping me up at night. Okay, that's the same character. So we do have to try every door. So I'll try to do this a little more systematically. Dave's not here, man. Hey there, mind if I ask you a question? Do you know how to get to the museum from here? I've been looking for it, but nobody will tell me directions. It's starting to get annoying, to tell you the truth. Half of them cut me off, half of them ignore me. So, which way is it then? Ma'am? Oh, sorry, did you say something? You know what? Forget it. Excuse me, this is private property. Does your kind always make a habit of barging in on people's homes? There's a lot of walking around and talking. You finally got here. I thought I'd have to go looking myself. We keep hearing strange noises coming from the basement. You could get in from the door in the back of the house. Here's the key. Please do something quick. We can't sleep with all the noise. This person seems to be sleeping just fine. Have you taken care of the noise yet? It's coming from the basement. The entrance is around the back of the house. Well, will you get on with it already? Our taxes are paying your wages, you know. There it is again. You heard it, didn't you? It's been like that for weeks, coming from the basement. We don't dare go down to look. It's weird. It's weird, right, sometimes, because, like, I actually clicked through that dialogue before I'd had time to read it all. So, I didn't know exactly what it said, but I finished the sentence anyway, with a paraphrase that made sense and said the same thing. It's kind of like, sometimes you see an experiment where, like, you get a paragraph of text, and a lot of the letters are scrambled in the middle of words, and you can read it normally, sometimes without even noticing, right? Because you don't read a word a letter at a time. Like, your brain processes all the letters at once, so that you can, that's why you're able to read quickly. But it actually kind of works that way for multiple words sometimes, because, like, I'd actually read the meaning of the sentence before I had said it all, and then when I clicked away, I didn't have it to refer to, so I didn't remember the exact words, but I remembered the meaning of the sentence once it was gone, and was able to finish it. I think that's the same sort of phenomenon at play. You finally arrived. I've been waiting for hours. I almost thought you weren't coming. Did you bring it? And the maple syrup? Or maybe you want to try with honey instead? I've still got some in the cupboard, I think. Oh dear, I'm so nervous. How do we go about it then? Do you want to just, like, jump straight into it, or do you want to... Did I say something wrong, or were you thinking maybe with mayo instead? No? Alright, okay. I guess we can just skip the toppings, so... On the table, then? What? I don't know what I don't know what they're eating, where syrup, honey, or mayo would all be acceptable, but I don't want any. Sorry, the inn is closed until after dusk. Howdy, miss. Can I ask you a question? A character with a name. Kashmir. Oh, hello there. I'm afraid we're not officially open until tomorrow. Still restocking after an abroad sales tour. But if you're simply dying to part with your salt in exchange for my Phonum famous fabulous fashion, I'll do business anytime you like. I may be of assistance. Alright, let's see what they've got here. Well, I think it'd be fun to pick up a souvenir, but I'm not sure I'm carrying enough. Now, I'll be the judge of that. Let me see what you have. Oh my. Now we're talking. Might be worth a little effort. Tell you what, Calf, you seem nice, so I'll make you a very special hat at a discount. You mean it? Golly, it's my lucky day. Indeed, just give me a moment here to get it ready. Legend has it this hat will cloak your presence from the sight of cosmic entities residing just beyond the veil. Cosmic what now? Exactly. Gift wrapped, of course. Well, I don't know about any of them cloaked inty whatnots, but you have been staring up at this cube of my noggin for quite a while. What can I say? I'm a doe of simple taste. Hey, James, welcome in. Pleasure to have you here. Welcome into your friends as well. I hope you're doing well tonight. I think you were playing... I actually saw... I think you were playing Army Men. Sarge's Heroes 2 on the N64. Was that you? I was. Finished that one up. How'd you enjoy it? That's a game, I liked quite a bit when I was young. I'm pretty sure it probably doesn't hold up super well. I think there were 3 of those games. I had 3 of them anyway. I think that was all of them on the N64. Sarge's Heroes 1 and 2, and there was an air combat game. I've heard the PlayStation had better Army Men games. Liked it a lot. Last level's a little odd, but other than that, it was really fun. I always like the idea. I feel like they didn't go far enough with the idea of the Army Men are like little soldiers in a human world. I feel like there's not enough stages and not enough stuff to really take advantage of that situation in those games. I wish they had gone, like, I wish they had done a lot more with that concept, is what I remember about it. But most of it's pretty vague for me at this point. But it's good to hear that you liked it. That makes me a little bit more, that makes me feel a little bit more confident about the idea of someday going back to it. You said you haven't played this since early access. So you played a little bit of this one too, right? Oh, let me put the welcome message for everybody in the chat as well. Thank you, Raiders, for coming by. It ends on a real cliffhanger. No, I didn't remember that. Oh no. So we're picking this up. This is just our second time picking this up here tonight. I've just been walking around town talking to everybody. Not a whole lot going on with the game yet, but I expect we'll uncover some action soon enough. My goal for this game tonight is hopefully to locate and defeat whatever the next boss is. We give it about probably 2.5 hours of total time tonight. We're about half an hour in. And then we're going to continue our first playthrough of Dark Souls. Ooh. Looking forward to it, but it's always scary picking that one back up. Sure, I'll take it. Thanks, it's been a pleasure doing business with you. I assume this is a 7 collectibles remain. Alright. I was going to say I assumed this was a story item, but I guess it's not. It's a picture of a really big building to the north. Looks like houses on the east and that big gate to the west. I love you more. No, I love you more. No, I love you more. No, I love you more. They seem busy. Suppose I shouldn't interrupt them. Loyal, welcome in, Loyal to Soil. Great to have you, as always. Man, am I stoked to be here to party with y'all. Wait a minute. How did Jelly convince you to play this wonderful game of art? So yeah, I'm playing this because my wife, Jelly, she just found this at the library randomly and thought, oh, it's got cows. That'll be funny. But, and I didn't really, we played it for a couple hours. I didn't really like it at first, but the writing's pretty funny. So I wanted to try it a bit further. Excuse me, could I? Sorry, I'm busy. Oops. I missed a piece of dialogue. I think I asked busy with what? And then she answered just standing here. Excuse me, could? You may have had that floof trimmed a bit too much, darling. You're starting to look like a cow. Excuse me, could? Maybe if I ignore her, she'll just go away. Sorry, but you can't go this way. You're just not floofy enough. I remember the character saying that before. I think I've got to find and buy some artificial floof. Gunga said, I just heard Frownie say, I love you. I don't know how to process this. Sorry, you can't go this way. There was a brawl earlier between Velvet and Vixen, and the damage is still being repaired. Alright, so we've got to go to the upstairs of these buildings. Looks like this door leads upstairs. Is it shaking? Take a listen. Let's see here. I probably shouldn't be here. What's this weird door here? This must be the basement that deer was talking about. Should I use that key she gave me? Not quite yet. You know what I want to do? I just bought this hat. What is this? Not microwave safe. We have a tinfoil hat to protect us from cosmic entities? That's what this is all about? I didn't know this game was scientifically accurate. This must be the basement. Yep. Let's go in. That's fair, Frownie. I'll kick back and relax and see where this goes. Right on, Loyal. That's what we're doing, is just kind of seeing where it goes. That ought to do. Let's go. Trying to stay warm, Yeek says. Very important this time of year. What the? Alright, now what's going on? Fess up? Figured as much. Y'all messed with the wrong cow. Alright, we're gonna battle. Alright, let's see how much I remember from the combat. I haven't played this game in 2 weeks. I can tell you, I don't remember how to use the super. Oh, I think it's... That's it. Alright, it's coming back to me. Nothing to fear. I should probably point out to everyone, I am super inexperienced and also terrible at all fighting games. So, I mean, you can probably tell just from my gameplay alone, but if there were any doubt, let me just remove that. KO. Alright, so this is going to be like a dungeon down here. We're at, where we are right now is -3 degrees. Feels like -17. If I actually start hitting the enemy, I usually take them down semi-quickly, but, well, maybe not. I'm doomed! Why is this game impossible? I'm just being juggled all around. Do the super... Do the super attack. What are you doing? I needed to do that. If you finish off an enemy with your super attack, you get your health back. If you don't, you don't. This looks really old. Wonder what it's doing down here. What? Don't just look at it, take it. What? Why? Alright, first... That's new? What's new? Oh, it is new. It's like the other ones are wolves, and that looks like a panther or something. First game over of the night incoming. What are you doing? I can't take this. I successfully did the super attack earlier, and I cannot, for the life of me, do it again. I know how it's... I think I know how it's done, too. You're supposed to push the... you're supposed to hit 2 of the attack buttons simultaneously. But I can't make it happen. Hey, I'm not dead yet. Emphasis on the word yet. Boy, this game is, I am terrible at fighting games. I like the adventure game part. I pretty much don't like any of the combat. Unless this game is very short, it's going to be very difficult to make it all the way through. All I'm gonna do is try and figure out how to do this super attack. I'm not even gonna focus on, because I have to figure this out. I don't know why I can't do it. What's the point of this meter if it can never be executed? Alright, hang on. Command list. All of this is useless. I just want to know how to use the super meter. Is that piece of information not even on the screen? I don't see it anywhere. Elbow, run, short hop, super jump. Multi-input A into B or C. There is no C button. I'm playing on a Switch. There is no C button. Why does it say C? I don't know. I don't know, my friends. Oh, there are other characters. Of course, but I don't think we can play as any of them yet. I did this once tonight. It's not. Why is it impossible to do again? Why did it work that time? See, Frownie, I follow the strategy of mash all buttons for fighting games, and let me tell you, it seldomly works. That's my go-to strategy as well. I am the worst at fighting games, as you can see. But I can't even do the moves I know how to do. I can't figure out what I'm doing that's making that happen. Now my meter's not full, so I guess I don't have to worry about that anymore. This is gonna be an awful night if I continue with this game. We're just gonna have a series of terrible nights. Hey, finally we got that game over I was promising a moment ago. Ooh. Loyal says that sounds cold. I've been in 14 Fahrenheit once in the mountains and can feel the cold through my clothes. I think the coldest I've gone out in so far has been -6. I have to figure out how to use this, What? This is bogus. I just defeated 2 of them. How are there 2 left? How are there 2 left on the screen? I defeated 2 of them. There were 3, I defeated 2, and there are 2 left. That's not how math works. Oh. But we might not be able to continue this because I may be physically unable to play it. Greg, welcome in. We're having a rough time, Greg. This is Them's Fightin' Herds. We played it a couple weeks ago. Oh. This is impossible. I'm just gonna have to fail my way through this whole game. Sure is shut tight. What in pastures grazing is that? These carvings are all predators all over it. Just what is this thing doing under rain? This could be bad. It's gonna blow open and they're all gonna come out and destroy me. Did I do that? Boss time. It's a... Okay, I got just one question for y'all. Who's first? I will never in 100 years make it through this room. They might as well have just spawned 80 billion enemies. I'll remind you once again, the only way for me to regain health is to figure out how to use that super bar down there. And for whatever reason, the directions the game once gave me for doing that don't seem to work anymore. Well, it works when there are no enemies around, but as soon as there's an enemy, it will work. Alright, hang on. Maybe I have it. I've definitely got it. See, health. Beautiful health. That's my only way to get it. I don't recommend this game unless you really like fighting games. And even then, you'd probably be annoyed with the adventure game aspect of it. This lasso is the most useless thing ever. This is a boss, so it all has to be done in one go. I'm very unhappy. I saw that when I pushed that menu thing, there was a skip dialogue option, but I don't know if it means skip the current dialogue or if it would start skipping all dialogue I come across automatically. I don't want to take any chances. You would think it would just skip the current dialogue, but so much stuff in the menus of this doesn't make any sense. Jelly checked it out from the library for us. She checked it out just because it had cows on the cover. That's the only thing she really knew about it. I'm getting better at that super attack at least. Thank goodness. Oh. Music's fun. I like the music, I like the writing, I like the adventure game parts. I hate every combat encounter. I hate every combat encounter more than the previous one. Nonsense. Nonsense that was blocked. I don't accept it. I should have put the difficulty down to like super easy. I need negative difficulty. Give me my health back. How am I supposed to defeat this guy? Sickening. Just sickening, this game. Don't get away. No! I was so close. I have to do all that garbage again. I'm not happy. Perfect example of why not to judge a game by its cover art. I use that now. I've gone from being completely unable to use that to now just using it when I don't want to, and it gets blocked anyway. I'm still unable to use it when I want to. Because I'd really like to now. I don't think those health items actually do anything. Did anyone notice my health bar go up at all when I collected those? I don't think it did. Maybe it did. My health looks better now than it did before. That's more like it. let me do anything. I don't know what the green meter. Say I've got that blue meter down there. I don't know what that green meter is for. That means nothing to me. Ham sandwiches for dinner. I had a roast beef sandwich. I'm in a... It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I'm in such a terrible health position. It doesn't matter if I defeat this guy. I'm useless against the next one. Every time I start a new fight, it doesn't refill my health bar. That's like, imagine you're renting an apartment, right? And the first month rent comes due, you pay your rent, you're there for a second month. The second month your rent's due, you have to pay the first month's rent again and the second month's rent. And now it's the third month, and you go to pay your rent, and that's all. You have to pay the first month and the second month and the third month's rent. That's what the game does to you when it doesn't refill your health bar. If it's the same battle, you make it the same battle. If it's a different battle, refill my health bar. What a bunch of jerks. What a bunch of jerks. I'm sure someone loves this. Someone who can actually play fighting games probably loves it. Someone who can't, like me, just gonna be completely miserable. How could I lose credit with game picking, Loyal? All I pick is trash. 90% of the things I play on the game are junk. 90% of the things I play on the stream are junk, I mean. I don't think anybody follows to watch me play good games, right? Doesn't even matter. None of this matters. Oh, great. Of course it works now. Of course it works now. I would argue that this is a much better game than Horus, Gonga says. Oh my. I'm so much more miserable than I was with Horus. I got pretty miserable. Horus made me pretty miserable sometimes. It seems like the more powerful the enemy, the less powerful the health items they drop. I'm trying to remember what kind of illness you said you'd rather have than play more Horus. Did I say that? Bel Air Jeff, welcome in. Great to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining us. I'm taking a page out of your book tonight. Jeff, and it's nothing but rage and frustration right now. I don't know if I could possibly hate this game any more than I do right now. I had to take the audio down just a little bit. Just a little. That even might have been too much. That boss music gets really loud. I already did a pony marathon? Don't you know a calf when you see it? You were speaking in tongues at certain points in Horus, Conga says. Horus, I have very mixed feelings about Horus. I liked a lot of things about Horus. The overall product... That game is way too talky. There was one part where I really liked the talkiness. When you're on the desert planet and you're flying around and well, you're walking and there's that flying like buff robot who's hanging out with you. That part was good because you got to play while the game talked, and it was actually really funny there. I liked the Pac-Man ripoff with Ghostbusters that they did in that game. You know, I liked some of that stuff about it. There were a lot of bosses that I hated in Horus. Overstays its welcome. Yeah, way. It goes on for way too long. Yeah, there are some really cool things in it. It's a mixed bag, but I was definitely ready to be done with it by the time it was over. I probably had a more frustrating time than a lot of people do with Horus also because I refused to use any of those extra hits. I had them turned off, those floating Horus heads for extra damage. I had those turned off the entire game. So I definitely put myself through a lot of extra misery. The super attack is down, half circle forward, 2 buttons at once. I know how to do it, but I could never make it. It refuses to happen when I need it. And if that's not the input for it, then I don't know why it works when I do that sometimes. Cool. Cool, I'm doing nothing. You got Horus for $1. You got it. I think you got it cheaper than I did. And I only paid like, I think I paid $3 for it. I haven't paid anything for this game, thankfully. This one is on loan from the library, and I'm going to be very happy to give it back. Please take this game back. Never rent it to me again. I'm canceling my library card. There's no way to win this battle. No one has ever beaten this. I refuse to believe anyone has ever beaten this. This is just the king of pain right now. Boat Ladder, welcome in. You're gonna regret joining us tonight, Boat Ladder. Alright, before we go do that misery again. There was a path to the left that I didn't investigate yet, and I want to see what was over there. Who would regret joining for this moverless game? Moverless. Moverless. That's hard to say. Welcome in, cows. Pleasure to have you here. Everyone regrets being here tonight, especially me. This game is doing nothing but making me cry. I'm so mad at this game right now. It has thrown all of the goodwill it earned last time we played. It has thrown all of that into a wood chipper. I'm gonna play Dark Souls later tonight, and this is the more frustrating game. Twice I've accidentally used that super attack, and both times it missed. I can never use it when I need to, and I'm always 100% of the time wasting it. The size that this character makes as she fights, those are my size. I love y'all, so I'm suffering with the team being a trooper. Thank you, Loyal. Apologies for putting everyone through this game. Oh, I regret it. I have so many regrets. Alright, what do we find? A glass of root beer. This is now my least favorite Santa hat because I wore it while playing this game. This Santa hat has forever been poisoned for me. Rip leopard Santa hat. That's a shame, too, because it matches so well with so much of my wardrobe. This character has so much confidence, and I can't back any of it up. It's hard to feel bad for not liking this game because I know, like, I have empirical evidence that the developers didn't care about this game. have irrefutable hard evidence that the makers didn't care about it. I'll share in a moment. Crusade Bear, welcome in. The music is good. The music's good. So this game is half adventure game, half fighting game. You wouldn't know that from watching it because I've been stuck in the fighting mode for so long. The adventure game portion's good. The music's good. The pixel art's great. The writing's really funny. The fighting game part is horrible trash. At least for me. I don't like fighting games, though. You have to keep that in mind. I will be fair enough to point out, I don't like and have played almost no fighting games. And now I like fighting games even less. We're in a much worse position than we were a moment ago, because I'm still stuck immediately before the same fight, but now I'm stuck before that fight with even less health. I myself am not good at fighting games, but I think if I had this one, I'd take a crack at it. I'm not telling anyone else not to play it, but I don't like it. Look, right here. Here's how you know. Oh, where is it? Oh, I can't show it outside of the battle. We have to be in the battle mode. Here is how you know the people who made this game didn't care about it. Look right there in the fight controls, those buttons. Light attack, medium attack, heavy attack, magic attack. A, B, C, and D. There are no A, B, C, and D buttons on the Switch controller. There's no C and D. There's an A and a B. So you go into stuff like this, right? What is it? It's telling me to push like forward and C and right, special attack, multi-input, A into B or C. Where's C? If they cared, they could have very easily just swapped out those graphics for buttons that actually exist on the controller. But they didn't care. Raiders, welcome in. Silo Cat, good to see you. You've come into a rough night. You've come into a rough night, Raiders. I'm very happy to have you here, but I gotta warn you, I'm not happy about this game tonight. This game's making me very upset. How is Triangle Strategy treating you? How did your stream go? Tell us all about it. I need to hear something. I need to hear about something good. Crusade Bear says, had homemade chicken noodle soup because I've been sick the past couple days. Sorry to hear you've been sick. When I'm feeling sick, my go-to food is usually beef stew, because I'm not a big fan of chicken noodle soup. I wish I liked it more, but I just I don't really like pasta in a really brothy soup. Trying to get better before Christmas. I hope you do. I hope you do. Silocat says, been loving the game. Feels a lot of what I've been wanting in a tactical game, while also feeling that craving for retro style gameplay. Right on. This game, I've been on an emotional roller coaster with this game. I disliked this game at first. And then I started to like it, and now I hate it. I can still hear something awful coming from further in, but should I head back up and rest? Yes. I'm out. Live to fight another day. So we can go back in, but now all the enemies are going to be back. Chicken pot pie, Bowladder said. So my biggest problem with this game tonight has been between battles, your health doesn't refill. So there are like health pickup items, they're limited. The only like other way to get health though, like aside from the limited health pickup items, is to do your super attack to kill an enemy. If you kill an enemy with the super attack, they drop health items. Fantastic. Problem is, my super bar is not always full, And when it is full, I can't reliably pull off that move. I use it when I don't intend to, and I can't use it when I do intend to. So, health is my biggest issue. Gameplay's a lot like Final Fantasy Tactics, but it's much more story-rich. I think one of my chat members likened it to Fire Emblem. I've seen the, like... Oh no, Does Triangle Strategy... I might be thinking of the wrong thing. Does it look sort of like Octopath Traveler in its, like, aesthetic style? Because I'm thinking, if it does, and I'm thinking of the right thing, I would say I really like the way it looks. Very similar to Octopath. I believe they're both done by the same dev teams. Alright, that would make sense then. Yeah, I like the, I really like the aesthetic of those games. The thing about this game, it's got a lot of really good music. The adventure game parts are great. The pixel art looks really good. The writing is funny. The combat, ugh. If you don't like fighting games, I don't think you're gonna like this very much, because I don't like fighting games and I hate the combat. Talking about Triangle Strategy. Yeah, Silo Cat's been playing Triangle Strategy. Did you play that one too, Jeff? Loved it. Love the character designs of this game, Crusade Bear says. Just constantly getting myself brutalized, trying to do that super attack, and then when I don't need to do it, I immediately do it by accident. Unless the enemy is one hit away from death, I don't need to do it. Ah, I can't stand it. I can't stand being so bad at this. It's driving me up the wall. One of the best stories in the game I've played recently, Jeff says. Takes a while to get going, though. Something so vital to my success should not be mapped to such an unreliable input. Currently playing through Fire Emblem: The Blinding Blade. I'm afraid I don't have much to add on the category of these sort of RPG games. Other than admiring their aesthetics from a distance, I'm just so terribly afraid of their copious amounts of story. That one is the first Fire Emblem on the GBA, only released in Japan. Oh. Well, at least we know that after all of this suffering, Dark Souls is going to be a breeze. There can't be anything as terrible as this in that game for us tonight. That's the one with Roy in it? Oh, Roy... Is Roy in Melee? Yeah, Roy was in Melee. I've thought about... I think if I were to play a Fire Emblem game, I think the one I'd be most eager to try out would be Fire Emblem Warriors. Except I probably wouldn't get anything out of it since I don't know anything about the series. Are you a Musu fan? Is that the maker of the Warriors games? I would say that I would be most eager to play that one because I enjoyed Age of Calamity, and so because of that, I feel like I would give another one of those Warriors games. It's the genre of game. I liked Age of Calamity well enough. I didn't really expect to like it very much, but aside from the terrible story, I had a lot of fun with that game. Wish I could stay and watch through Dark Souls. Always fun seeing new players going at it. Mind asking me where you are in your playthrough. Yeah, I just I just defeated Seath the Scaleless, I think is his name. Big guy down in the ice caverns. Lives next to the mushroom crabs. I defeated him last time we played. Crystal Curse Dragon, yeah. I locked myself into a polygon seam and cheesed him with arrows until he was dead. It was an amazing cheap victory. My Dark Souls character has basically become 100% has become basically 100% cowardly archer. That's my character build now, is cowardly archer. Look at how close we were. Cowardly Archer, the Cheese Lord. Cheesing something in Dark Souls, say it ain't so. That's how I defeated Ornstein and Smo. And now it's how I defeated Seath. I have a feeling that's how I'm gonna go through the rest of the game. It's just cheesing every boss with arrows. Yeah, I don't know anything about the magic hardly. I figured out how to use magic, but I feel like I've spent too much of my playthrough not... Magic might as well not exist for me. All hail the cheese. It's a good strat. It is, except the battle with Ornstein and Smo took 50 minutes. Do you know what that kind of anxiety does to the human heart? Cool thing about Dark Souls, playing the game with different builds. I would be open to the idea of doing a replay of it at some point and seeing if my second playthrough goes any better. But we'll see. I gotta make it through the first time first. Sort of player likes to run in, stabby, stabby, smashy, smashy. I was that kind of player at first. My first true love in Dark Souls was the axe, and we had a lot of good times together. But I've sort of evolved to be less and less bold in getting near enemies, because I went from the axe to the halberd. So that I could stand further away from them, and now I'm all the way at archery. The game's difficulty really just comes from inexperience. Second time I played through it got easier. Yeah, we'll probably do a second playthrough at some point. It won't be immediately following. It's a fun game, but it's a big game and it takes a lot of time. What is this, My Little Pony Fighter? Kind of Thrifty Anvil. If your top 3 favorite games are A Link to the Past, Street Fighter, and My Little Pony, then this would be your favorite game. It's got a cool like retro. It's got a cool retro adventure game. It's got a cruel fighting game, and it's got a bunch of you know, sort of baby barnyard animal aesthetic to it. How much do you think we lost? All right, let me click around a little bit. Zinchan, welcome in. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. I'm having a rough night. I'm crying a lot tonight. The progression into insanity. Didn't expect the Haim Ofer from modern games. I mean, we didn't really do much, so. And it did save. I remember it saving at one point, so. I don't think we really lost any progress. It was more just shocking than anything. Uh-oh. Yeah, this looks fine. I would have cried just from the crash alone. I'm doing good, catching up on the anime Bleach. I'm just so very upset. If I were not trash at fighting games, I probably wouldn't be so upset. So it's not really the game's fault I'm doing so badly. I suspect all the error is right here. Right here. But it still doesn't feel good, you know? It doesn't feel good to be so terrible. Used to be big into that back in the day, haven't gotten around to watching the reboot stuff yet, Cow says. I can't say that I've enjoyed any of it yet myself. The only thing I know about Bleach is I can recognize the font of the logo because I've seen it on like manga covers. But I don't know anything about the story or what the actual content of it is. Doing a full rewatch without the filler should hopefully catch up in 2-ish months at my rate. No, I've miscalculated. I'm stunned at how little progress I'm making. None of this is gonna go well for me. So the A button does the lasso, but one of the other buttons sometimes does it too. I don't know why. It is not reasonable. It is not reasonable to expect me to get through 4 battles on a single life bar. Ah. Just got an Xbox Series S. Right on. For, is that the current generation of them? I can't keep track of them because Microsoft names all the generations of Xbox the same thing. Cheaper model of the new ones. Right on. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Digital only. Game Pass has been amazing. You can put Retro, Arc, and Dolphin on it as well. There's a good selling point. That would be the most. That would probably be the most exciting feature for me. I'll try to remember that when I get around to picking one up once they become retro. At about 2060, I think I'll be in the market for one. Yeah. I just meant the generation. I figured the non you could put those things on the non-digital one too, right? I might have to by then. See, I might have to because by then maybe all of my cartridges will have died from chip rot. I do like my physical things. I sure do. I do too, just no space. I'm very lucky to finally have room to display my stuff, because, like, while I've hoarded this collection for decades, most of the life of my collection has been spent inside of crates. And a huge portion of those years, even, like, spent inside of, like, my collection's been mostly locked away in crates inside not even my own property, but friends and family's houses. No! Stop hitting me. This guy's name is Huggles. The snake is named Cuddles, and the bear is named Huggles. No, my strategy was working. I don't even really know what I was doing, but it was working. For half of his life bar. It is unreasonable to have to do all of this. Affectionate villains. Good band name, Cows. We're gonna try this. We're gonna try this until, until I beat it, or until another half an hour passes. I've got about 30 more about 30 more minutes of this particular agony left in me. Do something. Anything. Very cool. When I fail enough times, isn't Luigi supposed to come out and offer to beat the game for me? Where's Luigi when you need him? So one form of emulation that I think I'm gonna have to look into, that I think I might actually have to look into for the stream, is on the Wii U. I'd like to be able to figure out how to get DS games to run on my Wii U, because that's the only way I'll ever be able to play DS games on the stream. Gonna have to do 3DS games. Have you not done a 3DS game yet? I thought one of the Castlevania games was a 3DS game. One of the Kirby games. Worried about the performance. Yeah, I don't know how well regular DS games run on the Wii U. But I know there are some in the Virtual Console, so at least some of them must be passable then, right? You would think. Don't pick me up. Don't do these things to me. No, I was so hopeful that that could be it. No. Castlevania game had a Steam port. Oh, fair enough. That would make sense then. I really have tremendous doubts that we're going to make it through this. Still on the suffer. I'm still here loyal. I said I would... A couple minutes ago, I said I'd do it for about another half an hour, so... We've got about 25 minutes left of this. Either I'm gonna beat it, or I'm gonna give up in about 25 minutes. Ferrum Tusk, welcome in, Tusk. I'm happy to see you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing better than me. I'm being tormented by this game. and my complete inability to play well at a fighting game. Ever. No. You've got this. Thank you for the vote of confidence. I'm not feeling confident. It's very hard. It's very hard to play this when your controller is so slippery from all the tears you've cried onto it. This is not my night. We did well last night. I've got to let everybody know. Last night, what we do? We did that golf game. We did Mario Brothers 2 and Castlevania. Yeah, if you weren't here for the Castlevania, I did the damageless run last night. We finally got it. That grind was much more enjoyable than this boss fight grind is. Thank you for the congrats, cows. Yeah, I've got to remember to keep. Bragging about that. I cut the run out for the, for the highlight, the victory reel, and for the intro for it. Like usually for those like challenge runs, I usually do a failure montage for the intro in those videos, but since we had that run earlier in the night where I finished the game while it was all scrambled and glitched, I actually used the Dracula fight from that scrambled attempt as the intro on the video. So it's like a really long painful to watch intro, but I just felt like I had to have that fight highlighted because it looks so weird. Are you gonna upload it to YouTube? Yes, yeah. I try, I try to maintain a decent archive of the stream on YouTube. We have almost every VOD has been saved. There are two archive channels for the stream. One is pretty much raw VODs, and almost every one of them's been saved. We've lost like maybe 3 in the history of the stream. And then I've got the other channel is highlights. So it's got like, boss battles, challenge runs, jokes, and just weird clips of stuff happening. I lost a VOD to the beginning of my Mega Man 8 playthrough. I saw that you had a question mark in your title, which I'm bummed about. It's sad, but I mean, it happens. That just turns those events into exclusive content for the folks who were here. This is brutal. It is brutal. It's so brutal. I have to do it all on the one. All on the one. All on the one health bar. And I'm just no good. We lost a night of Superman 64. We lost part of a night of Pokemon Arceus. We lost a night of Dark Souls. That really hurts. So I know those have been lost. 2.5 stream portions have been lost. Superman and Arceus we lost because my hard drive was eating itself. And Dark Souls, I don't know why I lost a piece of Dark Souls. It was the segment that had the Taurus demon. It was the night that we defeated the Taurus demon. I lost that part. I have to fight 8. I have to fight 8 enemies and then a boss. And the regular enemies are no joke. Derek Ocean, welcome in. Happy Tuesday, Derek. How's the stream? I hope everyone's having a much better time than me. Stream's going rough for me, Derek. This game is pulverizing me. Every combo, every like combo I get on the side is at maximum a 3, and every combo the enemy gets is at minimum a 42. One health bar for 9 enemies is crazy. Not even 9 enemies. It's 8 enemies and a boss. This game doesn't look great. It's, yeah. Unfortunately, all you've been able to see of it is if all you've seen it is from the stream tonight, all you've been able to see of it is kind of the worst thing about it. This is my second night playing this game. On the first night, I started off, I didn't like it for the first hour. And then I started to like it by the end of the second hour, and I was like, you know what, we'll play it again. And then tonight, it's just been agony and garbage through and through. I can't say anything good about it. It started off, it was wordy, boring, talky story for the first hour, and I was just like, I don't care, and I want the characters to stop talking. And it was driving me crazy. And then I got to play it for a little bit, and I was like, the adventure game part's kind of cool. All the, like, you know, like the optional character dialogue's kind of funny. combat is terrible. Ugh. So the enemies drop health if you finish them off with your super attack. When your super meter is full, you can do a super attack, and if you kill an enemy with a super attack, they drop health. That's the only way to make that happen. The super attack, I think the way to do it is down, half circle forward, and press X and A simultaneously. If that's not the way to do it, I don't know why it happens when I do that sometimes. But that's how I try to do it. And sometimes it works, usually it doesn't. And it always works when I don't need to do it and don't intend to do it. So, it's really bad. Just watched a movie called Fall, Derek says. It was interesting to say the least. Don't think I've heard of that one. I like Agony, Jeff says. This is the place to be tonight if you like Agony. We've got loads of it. I don't know that we're going to be coming back to this game, everybody. I don't think I'm going to have the strength to pick this one up again. This may be the second game that we officially abandon on the stream. That doesn't happen very often. I support you, Frownie. Did someone recommend this? This was no, my wife checked this out from the library. She saw it on the shelf and she said, "This game has cows in it. That'll be funny if Frownie plays that." And so she brought it home from the library. And I thought that was a good idea. I thought, yeah, cows are very popular on our stream. We should play the game with cows in it. And like I said, by the time we got to the end of our first night with it, I actively really wanted to play more. It ended on a very high note. I feel somewhat responsible for this mess, Cow says. The only game we've officially abandoned so far, I think, is the Wonderful 101. I played that for like 5 nights, but I wasn't having fun with it. People weren't digging it, so we actually quit that game. There have been other games like Dragon Warrior Monsters we kind of unofficially abandoned. There was another one we talked about just recently, too. There are a few games that, like, I put them down and just kind of forgot we were playing them. That's what the case of Dragon Warrior Monsters became. I forgot to schedule it. I just legitimately forgot to schedule it for so long that now it feels impossible to pick it back up again. I love Dragon Warrior Monsters 1 and 2. I wasn't really having a bad time with it. I don't really think it's that interesting to watch me play it on the stream. I can't believe this game has a physical version. It does, it does. I didn't even know it had adventure game elements in it. The screenshots on the box only show fighting game. So, like, I thought it was going to be a fighting game like Street Fighter, and we would just go through it and one night, check out the roster, probably not beat it or do very well with it, but have a good laugh at it. But then it turned out to be an adventure game, and I thought, well, it's an adventure game with a story. I should give it a more serious chance. And then it ended on a really high note last time, so I was happy to come back to it. And I've done nothing but regret it all night. This game is $40. No way. I am very upset that this game has a physical release and Ghost and Goblins Resurrection does not. I'm very upset. I'm very upset by that. Derek says, Fall was a free rental. Liked it overall. Right on. This game has library game written all over it. I've checked out a lot of good stuff from the library, Jeff. I got Pokemon Arceus was a library game. Kaze and the Wild Masks was a library game. Kirby and the Forgotten Lands was a library game. We played Splatoon 3. I got that from the library. We played some of that. I got that from the library. We did Mario Party All-Stars. That was from the library. I get a lot of good games from the library. I like the graphics and the animation, but not enough to try it. Kaze I liked so much that I had to buy my own copy of that one. I actually bought two of them. I bought a copy for myself, and I bought one and sent it to my sister. Alright, here we go. This is probably our last attempt. This might be the last time we ever spend with this game. Any luck yet, Greg asks? I have nothing good to report, Greg. Last attempt, best news all night, Loyal says. It feels weird, though. It always feels weird to put a game down, because think of all the garbage that we've suffered through. Would you say this is harder than Dark Souls? I'm looking forward to Dark Souls. Dark Souls is going to be so easy after this. That's why I don't like this game. I can't hide in the corner and cheese these guys with arrows. I have to say, Dark Souls, we're probably going to start off tonight with a little bit of grinding. Where we left off, I've got a big chunk of souls in my pocket. I feel like I'm like halfway to the next level up. So we're gonna probably start off the night grinding souls so I can get that level up. But after that, we're gonna go exploring, and I'm gonna see if I can find the next boss. So it'll be a slow start with Dark Souls. But that's probably good, because since I haven't played it in 2 weeks, that little grinding session at the beginning will be good to get me refamiliarized with the game. E.T., Superman 64, Echo, a few bad games streamed. Tell the library they can keep this game. I didn't want to be down on this game. I was legitimately looking forward to playing it again, and It's so sad. It's so sad how bad this has been for me. You sure you don't want to check it out again, please? They put a fine on my library card to punish me for returning it early. Checkout time was two weeks, Frownie. You keep that game for 2 weeks. We did it! Victory! I didn't want to say anything, but that went great. I don't know why it went so different. I didn't want to say anything, but it looked like my brother came down to the basement and I handed him the controller because how in the world did I play so trash and then beat it so easily? Oh my goodness. Oh, get us out of here. Oh, yay. Thank you for the face cam inversion. Thank you for the GGs. Thank you for the trophies, my friends. Now you have to play more, Derek says. Well, we have to play a little bit more. We have to see. We fought for whatever the next piece of content is so hard. We have to see what it is. The game knew its 25 minutes was up, and it wanted to make you at least a little progress. All right, we'll go up here to hang out upside down. The old vertical flip. All right. So yeah, we did pass that 30-minute mark. We are going to see what is this content that we have fought so hard to unlock. Like my Paul always says, when you're fixin' for a brawl, y'all know who to call. We're done when I say we're done, the game says. It did say that to me. Hey. Oh, I kind of like the look of that. That's a new... Yeah, kind of a Roman helmet. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Mug a magical oat bird. We can wear this on our head? What? Now, how do I put it on? There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to wear the soldier helmet. It's not quite a knight helmet, but it's all right. Is it over? My thoughts exactly. Does the armor have stats? You know what? I don't actually think it really does. See, what's that say? ×5 circuses? ×20 craftsmanship? -2% milk? Like, the stats are jokes. I think it's purely aesthetic. And all the effects are just joke effects. Which again, but that's something I really appreciate. The adventure game stuff in this game is fun. The combat is dreadful. I love the adventure game. I hate the fighting game. Combat wouldn't be as bad if only they refilled your health between fights. Yeah. Yeah, if they weren't so strict with the health, I would have an okay time with the combat. Yeah, most of these characters out here we've already talked to, so if you see me, you know, rushing past their dialogue, it's because it's not new for us. So doors without triangles we can go in. Excuse me, this is private property? Does your kind always make a habit of barging into other people's homes? Wait a minute. Weren't these the people that told me to go downstairs? Maybe we can go in. Oh, we can go. Oh. You can go in the ones with the triangles. Here we go. Is it gone? Yes, ma'am. Threat by the floof, finally. Now, shoo. Your hooves are trailing snow on the floor. We didn't even get a reward. So many sleepless nights. Thank Vixen's floof. As much as I hate to go, Loyal says, I gotta work tomorrow. Catch some Z's. Thanks again, Frownie, for the great and wonderful place to relax. I hope you were able to relax, Loyal. I hope you were able to relax with me bent into a question mark of frustration by this game. I appreciate you sticking through it with me, Loyal. I hope that you sleep very well. I hope work goes very smoothly for you tomorrow. Maybe this way? What the? Now, we can't understand these characters because they speak in runes. Well, howdy, little fellers. Could y'all tell me where to find the museum? Puppies? Oh, where have me puppies gone to? Excuse me, miss, did you see a pack of wee puppies pass by, chasing some fairies? Would you happen to know which way they went? Oh, did I answer yes? Oh, puppies, where have you gotten to? Can't ditch the game just yet now. No, not just yet, but soon. One of them little fellers must have dropped this. Better take it with me just in case I see him again. Wouldn't want it to get lost. Whatever it is. What's weird is we actually already saw that cutscene the last time we played. Oh no! Was everything we did down in the basement an optional fight? I think we could have walked up here and had that little story beat happen the whole time. I think everything I struggled through tonight was optional. I didn't have to do any of that. So here's the thing. We were supposed to go up here to continue the story. I forgot that we were supposed to go up there to continue the story, because I tried to go up here. I tried to go up here earlier and see this guy stops you. And so I was like, "Oh, we have to do." So I was thinking, "Oh, we have to do something in this area before we can continue the story. It must be this thing in the basement." I didn't have to come down here at all. I mean, I think I probably would have had to come down here still at some point, maybe. But I can't be sure, because all I got from it was a novelty hat. Just proves how good you are. Oh my. Why is the lake not frozen? We can't skate on cold water. This was an ice skating zone just this morning. Why didn't it suddenly melt? Guess at least I'm on this side, not trapped on the islet in the middle. Can't go over there. Can't believe he's out today. Should I ask him to marry me? Wait, that would make me Velvet's mom. Never mind. I think he glanced at me. Wow, I've never seen such thick antlers. Positively thick, I tell you. Those muscles. I think I might faint. He's so gorgeous. I mean, just look at him. Isn't he scrumptious? I could just eat him up. Was that sheep chasing some winter sprites that just went by? No, those look too small to be sheep. Dick-dicks, perhaps. Do you want to buy a souvenir? I've got Vixen plushies and Velvet plushies. I've got Blitzen action figures with real rear kick action. Or maybe you'd like to buy a map. Find out how to get to the museum. Only 38,000 salt. A sheep just passed by chasing a pack of things. They'll let anybody into the city these days. No wonder everything's going to trash. Next thing you know, we'll have horses and cattle wandering the... Oh, well darn. Hello, welcome to the Hoof and Floof Inn. We're open. Feel free to come in. We serve food until late if you're feeling peckish. We've also got open rooms if you'd like to stay the night for a modest fee. There's a lot of characters to talk to. Hello there. Are you an Elite 7 fan too? What am I saying? Of course you are. How could you not be? Of course I am. Of course. Do you want to wait to see them with me? You can totally see the bathroom window from here. This is the Elite Reindeer HQ and home to Blitzen, Donner, Prancin, Comet, Dasher, Dancer, and Vixen. It's weird to read those names in a scrambled order. No visitors allowed without prior appointment. I think I just saw Dancer on the second floor window. Or was it Dasher? Sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm waiting for someone and they're already late. I told them to meet me by the statue. Oh, did we talk to this person? Maybe today I'll get a glimpse of Blitzen. He's so dreamy. Sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm waiting for somebody. He told me to meet them by the statue. Sorry, I can't stop to talk. I have places to be. This must be the museum. Finally, seems I found the right place. No thanks to these snooty floofballs. Now, let's get me a clue. Cool. We'll explore the museum in a moment. There's still, like, a whole bunch of stuff to do out here. Oh, a cow? That makes 4 new things I've seen today. I wouldn't go that way if I were you. Oh, why not? I just wouldn't. If you say so. Oh, hey, it's you guys. Wanted to tell you, I've got your... Well, there goes that. I tried to warn you. Actually, I better not, just in case. This is the General Reindeer Assembly Building. Reindeer only. Well, they meant it. I love this village. I love this snowy village. It just looks beautiful. I could live here. Hello, little calf. I am Strong Hoof Strong, Jarl of Rain City. Then you must be busy. I'll come back later. Oh, really? You know about the predators? Indeed I do. Had I not banished so many of the vile shades with my own hooves, I would no sooner call myself a hoof strong. How many predators have you defeated, little calf? How tough are you? Ah, this is good. Your muscles ripple with conviction. Your spirit sings with valor. Golly. Here, a token from me. The mark of a true warrior. Wear it with pride. Why, thank you, mister. What did we get? Is that a scarf? Oh, it's like a heroic headband. I look great. I look great. I'm gonna wear that. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power, little calf. I notice your name is not Hoof. True power, hoof. Maybe you have some mastering to do yet, sir. Alright, let's check out the inn. I wish my muscles rippled with conviction. I need to remember that. I need to remember that. That's a good one to drop on a stranger when you meet them for the first time. Next time you're at a party and you don't know a whole lot of people, just introduce yourself to someone and then say, "By the way, I noticed your muscles ripple with conviction." Not many people in here this time of day. We're usually full to capacity at night, though. If anyone, because I have to tell you, if anyone came up to me and told me that, we'd be instant friends. Where is she? Lunch hour's almost over. Better not be skipping lunch again. I swear she's a workaholic. I mean, just how much critical stuff can happen at a museum that you need to skip your birthday lunch 3 years in a row? As an actress said to the bishop, and then what happened? 50,000 salt for a hat? That's too much. Too much. There's a cow out back with a ladder. And that's why the cart's wheel broke. I'm never touching an apple again. And that's how I became the greatest trombonist in Hyoshan? But a whole pineapple? So then the merchant said, whatever you do, don't touch that cow. And that's how I saved the Elite Seven with just my wits and a wooden spoon. Guess that explains why Donner likes oranges so much. Oh, thank goodness that nonsense is over. Is my order done yet? I've been waiting for a whole 5 minutes. So that's a large salad for 2, extra maple syrup, no croutons, no mayo. Wrap it up to go, please. I've got a blind date waiting for me. All right, that if you have somehow managed to stay here for 2.5 hours, you, like me, now understand a conversation that happened that long ago, I think. You should have seen it. There was a cow going around talking to everyone. I swear there was. This drink is great. Milk, they call it. No idea what it's made of, but it's lip-smacking great. I couldn't agree more. I love milk. I'm going to have a glass of milk as soon as the stream's over. You know what? I'm not, because my milk is expired. I can't believe I have expired milk in the fridge. That never happens. Terribly sorry, but only registered guests are allowed on the 2nd floor. Would you like to register? It's only 24,000 salt a night. Oh. That's a mite too much for my budget. I don't even know how much salt I have. I know we have salt because we were collecting it, but I don't know where to check our salt counter. We go over this way. Nope. Alright, I think that's everyone out on the square. Welcome to the National Rain Museum gift shop. We accept salt only. Is anything you like? Oh. I don't know what these things are. I like this blue thing. A male reindeer plush. A female reindeer plush. Oh. That old thing has been sitting around here for years. You don't seem to be from around here, so why don't you take it with you? Just tell everyone you got it from us and we're even. Who knows? Maybe they'll become popular. Oh, what did I get? What is it? The tiny cow? I can wear a tiny cow on my head? My headgear just keeps getting better and better and better. Welcome to the National Rain Museum. Entrance is free on all days except the ones when it's not. You go up the stairs. The Cultural History Room is to the left. The Natural History Room is on the right. And the Unnatural History Room, featuring our collection of unnatural sculptures, is straight through the middle. Whoa, 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 whoa. We're sorry, the Reindeer Elite exhibit is closed until further notice due to vandalism from unknown parties. If you really must know, someone painted mustaches on all the Vixen pictures. The Velvet is Great exhibit, sponsored by Velvet Hoofstrong, is also closed until further notice due to vandalism from unknown parties. Somebody painted smell lines on all the Velvet pictures. You can also visit the National Rain Library here on the ground floor to your right. Enjoy your visit, get some culture. No, I didn't mean me, but thanks for the compliments. What? Sorry, I know I'm beautiful, but I'm also taken. Please feel free to browse and read anything, just don't take the books out of the museum, please. Looks like a book's missing. It's probably just the book I need. If I return it, I'll probably open a secret passageway. That's one big dead fush there? Am I supposed to be saying fish? And some smaller ones, I guess? These are kind of giving me creeps. That's just the cafeteria menu, actually. Not sure how it ended up there. I'm so hungry. Hello there, please don't touch the exhibits. Sorry, no guided tours today. But you can just look around and I'll explain things from here. It's almost lunchtime. I bet everyone else left already. Could you move along quickly, please? I'd like to go to lunch. Oh, it's you again. I know we reindeer are fascinating, but could you please move along? Pretty please, I'm starving and I'd like to go to lunch. My boyfriend is probably waiting for me. And all my friends. It's my birthday lunch. So hungry. Oh, just never mind. It's too late already. I guess I'll skip lunch today. I hope you're happy. Stomach growls. This is a deep rabbit hole we've gone down. That's a reproduction of the original Rain Constitution. This floof I hold to be self-evident that not all deer are created equal, and so on. Those are ancient documents. They're written in a dead language, though. Absolutely no clue what they say, but they look nice to exhibit, so... This is our really big sword. But it has no rocks, so we pushed it off to the side. Whoso pulleth out this sword of this stoneth is rightwise owner of the really neat stone eth. We don't let anybody try anymore, though. Not since Velvet a while back. 18 wounded and 5 with roughed floofs. Shudders. I'd like to try. I could probably do it. Is this the deer that skipped out on her birthday lunch for 3 years in a row? Did we make her miss her birthday lunch? We did. We did, cows. Finally. I mean, thank you for visiting the museum. Jumpin' jackrabbits, that's huge. And it's covered in pictures. Could be what I came here for. Maybe I should bring that reindeer back there some lunch. I'm sure nobody will mind if I take an apple for her. Why do you hate me so? Hey, sorry you couldn't go out to eat. I brought you an apple. You want it? Oh, that's actually very nice of you. Thanks. Thank you for the apple and for visiting the museum. Once again, thank you for visiting the museum. Come back soon. I think the next time we see that reindeer, they're going to be fired for eating the apple. Oh, I think I've been upside down way long enough. Pretty pots. Wish we decorated ours like this. Kind of depressing colors, though. These look like they'll crumble to dust any second. Nope, it's gone. Achoo. Uh-oh. Cheese it. The character automatically ran out of the room. I should probably steer clear of this one. Is this allowed? Kind of reminds me of Pa. He sure does love his contemplating time. Golly, I'm starting to feel homesick. Better move on. Scrolling books. Don't they have anything cooler here? Boring. Hey, this one's got pictures. Pretty old, though. Can't tell what's happening. Nope. Still can't tell what's happening. The skull of some long-dead critter. Or possibly varmint. Whoa. They got one of these stones here. Doesn't look like it's working, though. I wonder why they keep them here. Can't be that rare. Shoot, I went through a few just on the way here. How'd they keep the snow on it from melting? There's so much to this museum. I've been to real museums with fewer exhibits. There's a banana peel. Oh, come on. Ain't even gonna glance at that thing. I'm out of here. It's again, the game is controlling itself. I don't get it. Is she... I'm lucky Paul's not around to see this. Or see me seeing this. These reindeer folks haven't got an ounce of modesty. This pretty much leaves nothing to the imagination. I really shouldn't keep looking at this. My folks won't believe the things I've seen by the time I get back home. There's definitely a lot going on here. Fruit, fruit, plant, plant. Feels like there's something missing. This doesn't look local. Wonder where it came from. Now this one, this actually speaks to me. Oh, it's beautiful. Golly, I think I might cry. Maybe these city folk do have taste after all. I think it said it's true, it's beautiful. Something like that. Did someone forget to put a painting here? Is it transparent? I swear I could see the wall behind the frame. I'd hang that one up on in my house. I don't know which one you're talking about, cows. Looks like someone spilt their drink on this. Maybe I better hoof it before I get blamed. The cow. One of them's a cow? In the top left corner? This? This is a cow? It's a cow face close up. I thought it was a clown. I see red hair and two big eyes. Oh, is that a horn on the top left, though? I don't know. I kind of see a clown. I figure that's why your character loved it because it was a cow. You might be right. Maybe if I tilt my head and stare at it for long enough, I'll understand what it means. Nope, not working. Deeply happening. This is an important painting. It's transcendental. This kind of art is very big in rain. Beyond big. It's all about very hot oranges and very intense yellows. Or maybe it's about oats. Are you old enough to be in this room? I never know with your kind. Guess you can stay, just don't touch the exhibits. Sorry, the exhibit in the next room is temporarily closed. Somebody vandalized it right after Velvet came to see it late at night. Reminds me of bread for some reason. What's with the tiny lizards? This one's a reindeer eating a rather large apple. Looks tasty. This painting's older than it's ever been, and now it's even older. And now it's even older. Looks like a happy reindeer. Wonder if these paintings are all linked to some bigger clue, like a hidden secret put here long ago by a powerful wizard. Really hope not, because I ain't seeing it so far. That just looks like an antler on a frame. A drawing of a cute sheep looks like she was partially sheared. That's just plain unsettling. That one's on loan from the TC private collection. Someone stole the painting we had there before. Wait, where's that painting? It looks like just an empty frame. First this Velvet is great room, now this I'm gonna get fired. Well, if you like reindeer, my friends, I'll let you know that tomorrow night on the stream we're actually going to be playing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on the Wii. Should be another night, another Christmas game. I have no idea what to expect from it. That is an ancient statue. Ancient reindeer believed praying in the shrine of a statue like this could transport you to other worlds full of dangers and riches. As a list of thousands of names nobody's been able to decipher its purpose. The only thing we know about it is the title. Backers. Hello and welcome. Please don't touch the exhibits. Looks like someone dropped a book. The shelves are full, though. What should I do? Pick it up. Let's find someone to give this to. Excuse me, I found this here book on the floor. Oh, that belongs to the library on the first floor. How'd it get here? Would you take it down to the librarian for me, please? Sure thing. Of course, we find the book. It's gonna open a secret passageway. Alright, we missed one piece of art in here. It's been quite a trip to get through this museum. Inspect the artifact and advance the story. No, let's look around some more first. There's an empty space on this shelf. Place the book here. Yep. A secret door is opened. Oh, well, I don't seem to be able to get past whatever this is. Oh, never mind. I forgot I could stomp. I hope I haven't been missing out on anything by not stomping. Alright, what do we think this is? Hey, what's this? I'm sure it wouldn't mind if I just... Another fight! No, not the bear again! Anything but the bear again! No, I didn't want to do that move, and I did the move. We were doing good for a moment. Alright, surely we can defeat this bear. Get out of here, bear. You caused me enough pain. Yeah, what's this? This plush is pretty darn adorable for a reindeer, I guess. I'm gonna take it with me. Better than it sitting here collecting dust. Alright. I think the only thing left to do is that read that thing where it says advance the story. So we're gonna do that, and then as soon as I get to save after that, that's where we're gonna be finished. I think. Oh, Sorry, museum. Only museum employees are allowed behind the desk. Well, I tried. I tried to examine whatever that was. Alright, let's see now. That symbol is everywhere. Bet it's important. What else have we got here? Wait a minute. That's the key. It's gotta be. Looks like I've hit the jackpot. This stone is crawling with clues. What the hey is that? She's an oryx. Wouldn't you agree? Fascinating, isn't it? I've been staring at this artifact for days. Simply days. I've done some research myself, and I believe it originates from the southern regions of the High Plains. What has your research yielded, if I may ask? Oh, well, actually. Oh, right on time. Thank you, my little darlings. Anyway, actually... What? Pumpkin spice? How plebeian? Who do you think I am? An uncivilized white-tailed deer? Take it back. I much prefer the gingerbread. Runes. Oh yeah, you drop this. Here you go, little buddy. That will do, I guess. Oh dear, good winter sprites are so hard to find these days. Do you find so as well? Well, ma'am, we don't have winter sprites where I come from. No? So, who styles your floof? Who brings your oats? Who carries you from place to place? Myself, I reckon. So, you seem like a fine, upstanding cow. What brings you to the glorious city of rain, darling? Well, Pa probably wouldn't approve of me telling no city folk. But you seem trustworthy. Yes. You know that decree that came from the Council of Ungulates? Yes. This may seem hard to believe, but I'm champion of the prairie. Oh, really? Well then, I'm champion of the tundra, the greatest fighter in all of Rain. The greatest everything, actually, but I digress. On guard. Oh, wait a sec. Alright, on guard. Wait, excuse me, Miss Velvet, could you please settle this outside and away from all the priceless historical artifacts? Yes, of course, everyone in Rain must witness the cow's utter defeat against Phonem's true champion. Okay, Miss Fancy Floof, you asked for it. That's cute. Shall we dance? Didn't hurt. Oh, so many ice powers. I'm so jealous. I wish I had ice powers. I hate her already, Crusade Bear says. What was this all about? The cow's utter defeat again? No, I will not be bested by some beastly bovine. Time to get serious. Oh, are we doing 2 or 3? Oh. The wind makes it hard. I think the wind is kind of unfair. That's it. You roughed the wrong floof today. What am I supposed to do about this attack? I don't understand what I could possibly do. Why is this game so consistently terrible? I can't do anything. Don't use that attack. It's unavoidable. No. Oh, how much of that trash do I have to go through again? The whole story section. Alright, we're going to use that skip dialogue option. First part's easy enough. Okay, you only have to do... No! No! Double tap to run is always a terrible idea. Oh, please be done. Ain't nothing to it. How could a simple country bumpkin defeat me? The strongest, the most beautiful, the most charming, the most skilled. Oh, hush up, you. Like my pa always says, pride goeth before a hiney whooping. Pride, how dare you? I'm the most humble, the most modest, the most meek. And good riddance, you snooty old moose. So the High Plains, huh? There's my next clue. Hey, anyone know how to get to the High Plains? Here, take my cruise ticket. Down at the docks, you'll find the RSS Donner Prancer. They'll sail you to the Highlands. Well, thanks, mister. I owe you one. Really, that's not necessary. Well, ain't that something? Y'all city folk aren't so bad after all. I won't forget this. By Stronghoof's beard, I thought she'd never leave. All right, there we go, my friends. I think that's gonna the next time it lets us save, we're done for the night. I think that ends a chapter. So at the Mountains of Sadness, where did this game think I have been all night? All right, this is as far as I can get you, miss. From here, you're on your own. What far as I can get you? What are you trying to pull? There ain't nothing here. You said we were going to the Highlands. But this is the Highlands. They don't call it that for their accessibility to boats, now do they? Tis a harsh land, true, but buried deep in the rock lies treasure beyond compare. So the stories go, at least. If that's what you're after, the alpacas here make great guides. I'd recommend seeking out a local herd. So, you've been delivered, young miss. If you need a ride back to civilization, the RSS Donner Prancer will be here loading cargo until tomorrow morning. There we go. And it's saving. Saving. Done. Ah, what a rough night. What a rough night. You see, the thing is, when we started making progress around, again and walked around, got to walk around and read things, it's fun. I like the adventure game. I want to play just that with none of the combat. So, we might play this again. I don't know. It's not going on the schedule again this week for sure. But it might be on the schedule again. I'll have to take some time to decide. But I'm very happy to be done with it for tonight, my friends. I'm gonna take a BRB. Be gone for just a few short minutes, hopefully. That's the plan. I'm still kind of hopping around. My foot is tremendously swollen. I think it's gonna be okay, but it's very painful, very inconvenient. So I'm gonna hop away for a few moments, get the games switched over and whatnot, and we'll enjoy some Dark Souls when I return. So thank you for sticking by me through this complete nightmare of a game. And I'll see you again in just a few minutes.